not Diddy coming after Katt Williams for spilling the tea on him. Y'all, it looks like Diddy is sick and tired of Katt Williams speaking on him and exposing his secrets because he just sent some very strong words to Katt, threatening him to back off or else. Katt has been going in on Diddy for a hot minute now, talking about how Diddy is on the DL, how Diddy has an affair with Jay-Z, blah, blah, blah. Well, Diddy has finally had enough because y'all know that Katt's revelations have been causing a lot of drama for Diddy. Diddy just broke his silence on this, threatening Katt into silence. And girl, Diddy is not here to play. Did he really threaten to unalive Katt?
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about.
Y'all, I swear Katt Williams is keeping his foot on Diddy's neck, and he is keeping it there firmly. In the past couple of days alone, we have seen him speak on Diddy so many times and expose some insane things about him, like how Diddy allegedly makes passes at other men in the industry. Shannon Sharpe and Katt Williams did not come to play this year because they broke the internet with their podcast session where Katt spilled a lot of tea and exposed a lot of wild things in the industry, speaking on celebs like Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, and Diddy, especially Diddy. Katt went in on Diddy, talking about how Diddy offered him $50 million to sleep with him, which he turned down, which made Diddy furious because he hates to be turned down. Katt Williams saying that Diddy had offered him $50 million just for a one-night stand had the internet in a chokehold, because Diddy was down bad for Katt. Girl, he was down. But as wild as that is, it isn't all that shocking, because unless y'all have been under a rock for like 30 years, then you'd have heard the rumors about Diddy being on the DL and using women as a cover to hide his sexuality. The rumors that Diddy has been trying to get it on with young artists have been flying around for the longest time. There has been talk for ages about Diddy being a flirt and how he's always moving up and around town finding people to play with. I mean, we've always known how Diddy loves to surround himself with women, even if it's a front for his real sexuality. But as it turns out, the men are not safe from Puff Diddy either. He's flirty with them a lot allegedly, but as one of the most powerful men in the industry, not many people had the audacity to speak against him or come forward to expose him. But even though they couldn't come forward, there were lots of hints that were thrown around. His protege, Usher, was one of the first people to give us some hints as to what went on in Diddy's world. On the Howard Stern show, Usher talked about some really disturbing things that he experienced living with Diddy as a teenager in New York. For those who don't know, back in the 90s, Usher lived with Diddy as a teenager because L.A. Reid wanted him to learn the ropes of the business from Diddy. To put in perspective how big of a red flag it was, Diddy referred to his house as Puffy Flavored Camp, and I think y'all can figure out how shady that is. Diddy started training Usher to be an R&B sensation when he was just 15 years old, but as it turns out, there was allegedly more going on than just music training, allegedly. Speaking with Howard Stern, Usher discussed in depth what he witnessed and how his eyes were open to the lifestyles of the biggest names in the industry. Speaking to Howard, Usher said,
Really?
"But if y'all don't believe Usher, then you'd probably believe the other people who have been speaking about Diddy's behavior, especially since it sometimes walks the very thin line between fetishes and straight up SA, if you catch my point." 50 Cent is another name that has been keeping Diddy on his toes because he has been trying to expose Diddy for years and let us know who the real Diddy is. Now, 50 Cent and Diddy have had their issues for years, dating to the late 90s when 50 Cent was new to the industry and trying to get signed. He already had a hit song out titled How to Rob, and a lot of labels were dying to sign him. However, for some reason, he really wanted to be signed to Diddy's Bad Boy Records. But Diddy didn't seem very eager to sign him, but it had nothing to do with 50 Cent because he was trying to revamp the image of the label. See, it wasn't long after Biggie Smalls had been killed by gun violence, and Diddy was trying to distance the label from that image. 50 Cent had a very gangsta image at the time, and he didn't fit in with the image that Diddy had for the label, so Diddy turned him down. Things worked out well for 50 because he was signed by Eminem and found a lot of success, but he still held a grudge against Diddy. This was made worse when he realized what Diddy really is like behind the scenes, and this is why he has been putting his back into exposing Diddy. There was a time when he exposed Diddy for turning young men gay. In a post on Instagram, he said, "See, this is why I don't go to no party Puffy and them at. The F is going on here. Get the F off my young man, WTF." Not many people were paying attention to 50 Cent at the time because everyone knew that he was a troll, and we all kind of assumed that he was trolling. But then Cassie filed her lawsuit and changed how we look at everything about Diddy, because there was a lot in her lawsuit that makes your stomach turn. Cassie filed her lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of SA and manipulating her in the relationship that spanned more than a decade. She also accused him of forcing her to be intimate with male escorts, which he referred to as freak-off parties. And y'all, the contents of the lawsuit were so bad that it had a trigger warning on the very first page. Another example of the bad treatment Cassie suffered was Diddy forcing her to go under the knife and get her body done. Diddy allegedly pressured Cassie to get breast implants, made an appointment with the surgeon, and then proceeded to demand the removal of the implants, claiming they were too big. According to the story, a source who witnessed the incident said Cassie was crying silently, fresh from surgery, while Diddy insisted they removed the implants the very next day despite the health risks it could pose to Cassie. Cassie also claimed that Diddy was controlling and treated her like a doll that he could shape into whatever he wanted. Remember the controversial hairstyle Cassie had in 2009 with half her head shaved? Diddy was also behind that. According to Young Jock, Diddy had forced her to shave it when he had seen a woman with the hairstyle at the club they were at. Young Jock claims he didn't even ask for Cassie's input or ask Cassie if she wanted to do it. Instead, he told her to do it the next day, and when Young Jock asked if she was really going to do it, Cassie allegedly replied saying, "Well, whatever Sean wants, I'm gonna do it." And this started the conversation about how Diddy must have brainwashed Cassie so bad that she forgot how to fight back or stand up for herself. When she finally filed the lawsuit, many people commended her for finally finding the courage to speak up. Diddy was shook as well because he hurriedly settled the lawsuit a day later for a reported $100 million. Diddy probably thought that him settling would kill the case, but that did not happen. Instead, it was a very slippery slope for Diddy. Different women have come forward with stories of how they were victims of SA from Diddy, including a woman who claimed that she was a minor when he SA'd her. She was just 17 when it happened. She claimed that she was SA'd by Diddy and his accomplices, who were all men, and this had people wondering if this was another one of his freak-offs. Another woman who sued Diddy and Aaron Hall for something similar also said similar things to what was in Cassie's lawsuit. According to the new lawsuit, Jane Doe claimed that Diddy and Aaron Hall took turns essaying her and her friend after they met at an event at Uptown Records in the 1990s. According to her, Diddy and Hall were very flirtatious with Jane Doe and her friend, offering them drinks throughout the night. Diddy and Hall invited Jane and her friend to Hall's apartment, where Diddy and Hall took turns essaying Jane and her friend locked up in another room. A few days after this incident, Diddy allegedly showed up at Jane's house and put paws on her, choking her up to the point where she passed out. There have been too many allegations against Diddy, and the streets are saying that it should only be a matter of time before he gets prosecuted. Netizens are saying that there are probably more victims who are going to keep suing until he is brought to justice. That wasn't all of it, because another woman also claimed that Diddy SA'd her, recorded the whole thing, and played it for people around him to see. Disgusting. The woman, named Joy Dickerson Neal, accused Diddy of drugging, SA'ing her, and made a tape of the attack. At the time, Joey said she was working as a waitress at a Harlem restaurant, Wells, and she was also hoping to work in the music industry. According to her, she claimed that Diddy pressured her into going on a date with him. Diddy definitely knew the words to make a woman relax around him, because Joey says Diddy told her she was whip-smart, beautiful, and aware that her good reputation was an important asset to be guarded. Joey claimed that she appeared briefly in one of his music videos and also had some casual friends in common with Diddy. She finally gave in to the pressure and agreed to meet with Diddy at the restaurant where she worked on January 3rd, 1991. The interesting thing is that Joy claimed that before she went on this date, a rapper from the Bronx named Sister Soulja warned her to be careful because Diddy had a reputation for reckless womanizing. However, Joy believed that no harm could happen, especially since she was part of the staff. Unfortunately, Diddy allegedly slipped something into her drink, making her feel woozy as they were leaving the restaurant. When they left the restaurant, they went to a recording studio and an apartment. On the drive there, she says Diddy kept forcing her to smoke with him. The last thing she remembered from the night was them going to an apartment. She claimed that she passed out and woke up the next morning with no recollection of what had happened, but she was in pain and felt a sense of shame. She claimed that she did not go to the police about this, but only told her best friend. But while she was trying to heal, a member of the R&B group Jodeci, Devontae Swing, approached her and told her Diddy had been sharing an adult tape of the two of them. Joy said this was when she finally remembered what happened, claiming that Diddy had filmed filmed himself essaying her. Even worse, Diddy had allegedly sent the video around to multiple women. And don't even get me started on his situation with Cassie, because she claimed that he used to make her get intimate with escorts while he watched and got pleasure from it. But according to his bodyguard Gene Deal, Diddy got pleasure from the freak-offs in more ways than one. According to Gene, the freak-offs were for Diddy's benefit. Remember how Cassie said in her lawsuit that Diddy used to give her a list of very specific things to look out for? Well, Gene claimed that Diddy was organizing the freak-offs for his own benefit, and he was an active participant. Okay, so now back to Katt and his story on Club Shay Shay. Now everybody knows Katt Williams and how much he hates the shady part of the industry because he doesn't stand for the BS. Do y'all remember when he exposed Diddy and Jermaine Dupri for allegedly essaying the Criss Cross boys? Well, he even called him the P words, saying that they ruined the boys' lives, and it was their fault that one of the boys, Chris Kelly, developed a drug problem and OD'd. Hold up, because there is much more tea that Katt had to spill, because allegedly Diddy wasn't alone in his shenanigans. Katt is now claiming that Jay-Z was allegedly involved in the saying as well. Now, if you haven't seen enough similarities between Diddy and Jay-Z, maybe Katt spilling the tea on an affair between the two will help you, especially since he's claiming that Jay-Z is allegedly involved in Diddy's freak-offs. Everyone knows that Diddy and Jay-Z are really tight friends, especially since an interview where Diddy claimed that only his mom and Jay-Z were allowed to call him by his first name Sean. Even Diddy's website, Combs Global, features a picture of him and Jay-Z proudly. That's a really cool way to show off your bromance. It even leads us to wonder whether Diddy and Jay-Z are more than just friends. That's not all of it, because ever since Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy for years of abuse came out, Jay-Z has been completely quiet over the whole thing, and this is causing people to ask whether Jay-Z also has some skeletons in his closet and is just as bad as Diddy. Amid all of the lawsuits and Diddy losses, 50 Cent has intensified his trolling and is everywhere on social media roasting Diddy. He even linked Diddy to R. Kelly, especially when he did a really weird photo blending on Twitter. He blended Diddy and R. Kelly's faces together and even added R. Kelly's song, Did You Ever Think, for an extra depth of trolling. The caption read, "Diddy do it coming soon, Greenlight Gang in another one." 50 Cent even posted on his X page that he found out that Diddy stepped down as chairman of Revolt. He said, "Rapper, I thought Diddy was a billionaire music mogul. If he's smart, he will file for bankruptcy now. Anyone with real money knows why I'm saying this. I'm the best producer for the job, guys. Here come the receipts." If 50 Cent is really making a documentary on Diddy, then y'all know that he is going to go over and beyond to spill every last drop of tea on Diddy. When Revolt TV released a statement about Diddy stepping down, they tried to spin it to make it look like Revolt was focused on creating meaningful content and that Diddy didn't fit the image, when we all knew what was really going on. Well, it looks like 50 is not the only one who has tea on Diddy, because Katt also has more to say, especially regarding Diddy's bizarre friendship with Jay-Z, claiming that there is more to their bromance than we know, pointing out the weird things that have been going on with these two for more than 20 years. When Diddy hit 50 years in 2019, he threw a lavish, insanely huge birthday bash in his Beverly Hills mansion. And the biggest stars attended, including Kim Kardashian, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kanye West, Beyonce, Kevin Hart, and even Jay-Z, which was a pretty big deal because y'all know that Jay-Z and Beyonce are very picky about the parties they attend. Katt also pointed out how Jay-Z and Diddy have been helping each other out of trouble for a long time. When Diddy was arrested on weapons and bribery charges, he narrowly avoided going to jail. He had gone to the club with his entourage and his girlfriend at the time, when an altercation broke out between him and other people, and shots were fired. Diddy was arrested on charges of criminal possession of an unregistered gun and attempted bribery. Jay-Z, on the other hand, was arrested for stabbing a producer who had been illegally distributing bootleg copies of his then unreleased album, Volume 3, Life and Times of S. Carter. They ran into each other at a club, and Jay-Z pulled an 8-inch knife and stabbed the other man. However, both Jay-Z and Diddy managed to beat their charges, and they walked free. Their friendship started to get stronger and stronger, and well, it looks like they fell into some shady practices along the way. After Cassie's lawsuit dropped, Jaguar Wright finally spoke about Diddy's friendship with Jay-Z, saying that Jay-Z is allegedly much worse than Diddy is, but the reason he hasn't gotten exposed yet is that he is smarter than. And according to Katt, one of the secret things that Jay-Z is involved in is allegedly freak-offs with Diddy. For a long time, there have been speculations about the true nature of Diddy and Jay-Z's friendship, because there just appears to be so much going on in the friendship that kinda just seems kinda shady, even to outsiders. Oh, you remember when Jaguar Wright spilled the tea, saying Jay-Z was smarter smarter than Diddy? Turns out she might be onto something, because while Jay-Z's keeping things hush-hush, Diddy's business has been scattered all over the place. And no, it's not just about Cassie's lawsuit. We were already sipping the tea about him being on the down low way before things got messy. Maybe Diddy should have taken a page from Jay-Z's book, or at least asked for some tips, because everyone who's ever crossed paths with Diddy can't seem to keep their mouths shut. They're out here spilling all the tea on him and their not-so-secret activities. Take Gene, for instance, who spilled some major tea on Diddy's escapades with men. Then there's rapper Exhibit, who spilled that Diddy once dragged him to a gay bar without any heads up. Exhibit was so shook that he pulled a ninja move, snuck out of the bar, and bolted home. Even The Game joined the shade parade, hinting that Diddy uses women to cloak his real sexuality. He dropped some subtle bombs, suggesting that Diddy's playing a double game, hiding behind womanizing ways, or having a bunch of kids with different baby mamas. Even get me started on 50 Cent and how he has been putting his back into exposing Diddy for years. There was a time he shaded Diddy on IG and said, "Sorry, I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under the leadership of Putty Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow." 50 even talked about how Diddy made videos of Cassie during the freak-offs and then shipped the videos around to other people in the industry, even 50 Cent. Now, Katt's dishing out the juicy details about Jay-Z allegedly being part of Diddy's escapades, but guess what? He's not the first one to spill the beans. 2 years ago, Jaguar Wright had an interview where she straight up claimed that Diddy and Jay-Z were more than just pals, hinting at some intimate moments, if you catch my drift. Oh boy, 50 Cent joined the party too, sharing a video of him on stage with Diddy and Jay-Z, capturing the moment when Diddy playfully smacked Jay-Z's butt. Now that's some visual evidence right there. But let's swing back to Katt for a second. Remember when he dropped the bomb that Diddy tried to lure him into bed? Well, in the process of convincing Katt to get cozy, Diddy allegedly pulled out some freak-off videos featuring him and other male celebs, with Jay-Z allegedly being one of them. Now, let me throw in a big allegedly here, because I'm just relaying what the sources and blind items are buzzing about. We're all just here for the tea. This is interesting because there has been talk of Diddy recording his freak-offs. I mean, Cassie said it, 50 Cent said it, and Jamie Foxx also said it, so y'all make of that what you will. But get this, according to insiders, Diddy is sick and tired of Katt speaking on him, and he is allegedly threatening him into silence. The inside revealed that Diddy has been trying to do a lot of damage control to fix the negative image that he has on social media, but Katt is making it impossible for him to do that because Katt's revelations have kept the internet talking about it, and Diddy is simply over it. Fans are standing 10 toes down with Katt, and they left comments saying, "Katt has been exposing these vile creatures." In 3 of his stand-up shows from about 15, 20 years back, he talks about what these Hollywood stars get up to. Katt is the unrivaled king of comedy and champion of truth. This other person said, Katt been exposing Hollywood, but people called him crazy. He told us about those parties in Hollywood. A lot of your favorite actors and musicians are involved in some sinister stuff, especially involving children. A lot of people are not ready for the truth. And another person said, Katt has been telling the truth for over 2 decades now, and everybody just called him crazy and tried to have him blacklisted and destroyed his reputation and character throughout the years so they could make him shut up and go away, but Katt took a licking and kept on coming back. Yeah,